coffee, tell jokes, and bad jokes, in fact, actually. And today's a national day, is it not, Mari?
It is.
What's the national day today?
National Cow Appreciation Day.
Oh, Cow Appreciation Day. You know, and that's something that should not be ignored from a man named Beef. So with that, we should do cow-inspired bad jokes. And if you have any cow-inspired bad jokes, you want to join in on the fun, if you make us laugh or sip some coffee, we'll give you kudos. I don't have any prizes to give away, so what can I say? 600 KFMA. All right, start it off here, Mari. You got a bad joke for us?
I do. What did the cow say to the angry farmer?
What's that?
Please calm down or else we're going to have beef.
No, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
that's good,
See,
that's good.
it's a play on my name and the word beef is for all you older gentlemen out there. That's when you have a problem with somebody. Okay. Not going to sip coffee to that, though. All right, Rico, what do you got?
What happens when you try talking to a cow?
What's that?
Everything just goes in one ear and out the other.
Oh, okay. Not that good. Hey, what did Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, serenade to a cow?
Californication.
No, again, this is not. This is a hypothetical. You don't need to answer it. I got a punchline.
Oh,
What the hell is this? Trivia time? All right, so what Anthony Kiedis serenaded to the cow was, you got to take it on the other side.
Ah.
A double udder.
I made that one up. Let's go to the phones real quick. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
It's Jose.
Jose, you got a cow joke for us?
Yeah, kind of. It's pork, but it's pretty funny. So, what's small, green, and smells like pork?
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was in fifth grade once.
Spoil it for him, Rico. No, don't say it, Jose. We know it.
Kermit's fingers.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can't out bad joke us, man. But yes, a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Oh, yeah, it is. Classic.
All right, talk to you
Thank
later,
you.
Jose. All right, I'll sip some coffee for that, Jose. All right, what's the next one here, Mari?
All right, why do cows make such great spies?
Why is that?
Because they're great at stakeouts.
Nah, I'll sip some coffee for that. Let's go to the phones real quick. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
Ryan,
All right, Ryan, you got a bad cow joke for us?
I got two of them for you.
Ooh.
All right, cool. Lay it on me.
All right. What do you call a cow with two legs?
What?
Lean beef.
Nah. All right, yeah.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
What's that?
Ground beef.
These are facts. Straight up facts.
Who the hell calls in with pig jokes on cow day?
I know.
The
I
nerve.
know,
Have a good
Jose.
day, man. I love you.
I love you too, brother. And you know, get with the program, dude. When we're doing cow day, I need cow jokes.
What a ham.
And thank you. I mean, that bonus,
Exactly.
that
A
cow,
frog and a pig. Come on, man.
yeah, that bonus cow joke, we're just gonna assign to Jose. So you hooked him up with a cow joke, and I appreciate that.
Not a problem, man. Have a good day, beef.
All right, you too. All right, give me another one here, Rico.
What do you call a cow that can't milk or can't make milk?
Oh, was a bull?
What do you call a cow that can't make milk?
What?
A milk dud.
I like that one.
I'll sip some coffee. Let's go, fellas. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
Riley.
All right, Riley, give me a cow joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow who? No,
No, you got to interrupt him. You didn't
Yeah.
interrupt him, interrupting cow.
Yeah, dude.
Do it right.
I hesitated and slowed it down so you could jump in and interrupt me,
You
dude.
had one job.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
I've tried to, and when it's coming through on the phone, I'm hearing it. I
Yeah.
thought I didn't.
You did good.
Yeah, if I did it any slower, it would have been backwards. So better luck next time, Riley. Thanks for trying. All right, give me another joke here, Mari.
How can you tell if a cow is a teenager?
How?
They're very moody.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Do you know how to count cows?
No.
Well, you could do so by using a cow calculator.
I hate that.
Sip that coffee.
Mhm.
That's such a good laugh, though. You hate that one.
It made me mad.
Why don't you wrap it up for us, Rico?
Where do cows get all their medicine?
Where?
The pharmacy.
Okay, farm. Yeah, you spell it wrong, like a
Right.
dummy. But yeah,
A big
it
dumb
makes
cow.
it hilarious. One more caller. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
Keith, Eric.
All right, Eric. Give us one last cow joke. We'll wrap this up.
What do you get when you cross human DNA with cow DNA?
What's that?
You get kicked out of the petting zoo, of course.
Excellent way to end it, Eric. The king of the bad joke. I'm sipping some coffee right now, my friend. Thank you so much for that. All right, that was this little clip from the podcast broadcast earlier. Good morning, everybody. See you on the stream. Please welcome back good friend of the show, Yaz Money. I'm so excited that you joined me. Good morning. How you feeling?
This light is a little. Oh,
There you go.
That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. A little softer. It's adjusting. I got the mood lighting set up for the podcast broadcast, not to make it extra weird, but it looks good.
I'm setting the mood over here.
I'm setting the mood. So what I did, and I did this on Friday too, when we had Lenny Mental in studio, who's a punk icon here locally, and his son was a G-Bo. It was fun, but I for the podcast broadcast, I want to set up this lighting, which is essentially killing the overhead lights and just using the ring lights. Let me know what you think.
No, I like it.
Yeah, it looks good on the stream, but it is an awkward setup sometimes, right? Where I'm like, yeah,
you might as well light a candle.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I'm like, come into the studio, it's just gonna be me and you. It's gonna be fine. And she comes in, and I got some slow Chris Cornell playing lowly in the background, and all the
I'm
lights
flickering
dim.
the switchers up and down. It's not working.
But you're the perfect co-host for this show to talk about the fallout from the weekend from this Mike Perry Jake Paul fight. Conor McGregor got involved. Mike Tyson's jumping at the bit, chomping, if you will. And then I wanted to talk to you about Sugarskulls, which just wrapped up their season. And you're wearing a Sugarskull shirt. Look at you.
No, this is the Rattlers.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
This is the other team. The other team, the other Arizona team.
Now you got hooked up. This is through Crystal Pena. Crystal's a friend of ours and the show, and she's like, "Hey, I got a job opening here that you be a killer at, which is like social media."
Okay, I worked with Crystal for a total of 6 hours. Like I knew her for a total of 6 hours, and she immediately hyped me up and was like, "Hey, you should come over here." And I'm like, "Girl, I don't even. What's your last name? I didn't know anything about her." We were wrapping up the season. Sugarskulls have ended their season on Saturday. The Rattlers are going into playoffs.
Nice.
She hyped me up so much. I have so much responsibility and so much on my plate.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm not killing it and that I'm not doing the best that I can for it to be my first season working behind the scenes, but man, have I learned a lot about these organizations. I can't even imagine what a professional NFL type of thing would be, because I'm doing essentially maybe 3 or 4 different jobs at once.
Oh yeah,
for 2
and
teams.
you can see those, that level of pro teams, and we'll show you examples of the social media work that goes behind the scenes. And you see these professional teams post out, but it's so important. And we know this because we utilize our social media to try to grow our show and fan base. And the sports teams are the same. In fact, actually, we follow their lead, and then that's a full blown job. And then with it, it comes with perks. Right? Because weren't you just on the Diamondbacks field with your daughter?
No. I went. We went to a Dodger game.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What, in LA?
In LA, yeah.
And you got on the field? How'd you do that?
So every Friday they either have a drone show or a fireworks show, and so they let people on the field to watch the show, but they cut it off immediately. As soon as security is like, "All right, this is it. That's it," and they had just closed the gate behind us. And my daughter, she's a Mets fan. Okay, she's 9. She's a Mets fan. Whatever. But she was like, "Okay," but I was like, "Too bad you're a Mets fan." She's like,
"Hold on, we're going on." Okay. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast. When I say we, I say me and Yaz Money. Yes, we're just talking about how she was at the Dodgers game on the field there, and her daughter's a Mets fan, which your daughter's pretty kick-ass and pretty strong-minded when it comes to who she's a fan of, and you can't swerve her.
Yeah. No, there was this whole thing. She loves the Mets. Her dad's a Mets fan, and so she's really big on the Mets. So for some reason, it doesn't apply to the Dodgers. And I think that's one thing about being a parent is you can't force things.
Yeah.
So, but she had fun. She had a really good time, and she was just I was like, "Too bad you're a Mets fan," and she was like, "Yeah, but let's not talk about that right now." Okay, being told to shut up by a 9-year-old.
That
okay.
is so sweet. That is so sweet. All right. We got a lot we're covering on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/pfegan. There, you're going to see unedited versions or uncensored versions, I should say, of the post-fight press conference between Jake Paul, Mike Perry, the fallout there. We're going to get into all the tea from Saturday's fight. And also, somehow Ryan Garcia got involved in this spiral of just hot mess. We have a lot to cover. And also we're going to be recapping the Tucson Sugarskulls season, what to look forward to for the Rattlers as they're about to get ready for the playoffs, and all the behind the scenes work that Yaz does for both teams. It's quite impressive, and it's good social media stuff to get to know the players on a personal level, because you got to remember our Sugarskulls players are literally dudes in our community. They're our neighbors. They're people that live here, grew up here, that dream.
No, actually they're not.
Well, some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
But I'm
Come on, I'm
like
trying to
2
put
or
a
3.
local connection on
Well,
here.
we're trying to bring them into the community too. Like they're trying to widen everything up. So
okay, so this won't be the first time I stand corrected here on the podcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. We're going to be back after the latest from Falling in Reverse with Jelly Roll. Song's called All My Life from Rock 102.1 KFMA, and it's a banger, so turn it up or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. All right. It is a banger. So I like cross genres, like as far as the
I was like, Jelly
slang.
Roll. Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll's everywhere. And the Jelly Roll, Somebody Saved Me with Eminem. And that's going to be Eminem's like third single. Have you listened to that album? You don't listen to Eminem?
No, I do. I just haven't had the time to sit down and
you haven't
listened
to the #1 album in the country and the world right now? Because
I was on the road for about 8 hours to
good
LA,
time to listen to an album.
not with a kid in the backseat whose headphones broke.
Well,
no,
he's educational. He has a couple songs for his daughters. He's a father. You can relate to that. That album, The Death of Slim Shady, there's a couple things. One, it finally knocked off Taylor Swift off the top spot.
Oh.
She was #1 basically this entire year for one of her projects. It didn't matter what.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was at the top.
Interesting.
Eminem came out, knocked her off the top. Now he's #1 globally as well. The Jelly Roll song is a sample, Somebody Save Me, where Jelly Roll's singing about, hey man, I just love food, and I know you're saying my lifestyle is unhealthy, but fucking give me that cheesesteak, bro. I'm gonna die.
No.
Yeah. It makes you tear up. There was 2 songs.
Like no, what was that comedian that would do all the
Weird Al?
Yeah, Weird Al.
Yeah, just eat it. Yeah. It's like that. So he took that kind of like, my Vice, like the Jelly Roll's Vice song, and then Eminem turned it. And there was 2 songs on the album that literally made me cry. Not like, boo-hoo, but like tear up.
Oh.
Yeah. And then there's the fan conspiracy.
Okay.
That Eminem states that you need to listen to the song from, in order. And it's all he said, in order. And so if you listen to it from front to back, it's the story of, Eminem killing Slim Shady, right? But the theory online is if you listen to it from back to front, it's a story of Slim Shady killing Eminem.
Okay.
Yes. And so it's something to get into.
Okay. I'll look into it.
You got to look into it.
I know. I've been wanting to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good record. I will tell you that. And like I said, there's a couple songs on there that are super strong songs. And
I see you're excited about you're very enthusiastic about this.
Yeah, I listened to it. I mean, it's only the #1 record. Don't take my word for it. Take, I don't know, the entire world's word for it, right?
The charts.
Yes, the charts. I mean, people were super mad at it and did get some like bad reviews, but I just imagine from nerds,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, yes,
yeah. No, have you seen on TikTok like the Gen Zs trying to listen and they're like cringing, and it's like us being like, okay,
yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah. Rock 2.1 KFMA. I know it's so weird. We're talking about the Gen Z trying to listen to Eminem and cringing over it, and we're just like, there's nothing new here.
No.
Nothing even too shocking with that. And what's so insane too, when I think about this, is because they're gonna try to like cringe and cancel Eminem for.
You can't cancel Eminem.
I know he's uncancelable, but at the same time, make Love Island USA the #1 show in the country.
What is that?
I don't know, and I'm telling you,
Herb loves that trash TV.
He does. He hyped it up. He hyped up Love Island.
He sure did, but then you ask him to watch The Boys, and he's like, I haven't watched a single episode. And
Yeah,
I'm like, Herb.
I know. None of it makes sense. So actually on Saturday, I was chilling with my daughter and we're going to watch some TV together. And so she's like, I meant to check out that Love Island show. And I'm like, oh, my buddy Herb just talked it up. And people are talking about this is the best season of Love Island yet. And I like the challenge and garbage reality show. Yeah, let's check it out.
And
oh my God, we made it 10 minutes. Now, first off, within 3 seconds, you see a girl's full-blown naked ass in a thong. Yeah, and that's just the show open. Now, okay, that's fine for me being like middle-aged perv dude.
But you're like watching it with your kid.
Sitting next to my 18-year-old daughter made it uncomfortable almost immediately. but we powered through, even though my daughter was like, I don't know if I want to watch this with you. And I'm like, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it looks like softcore porn, but it's not. Right. So then we're watching like 10 minutes of it, and I could literally feel myself getting dumber by the second. I couldn't help it, dude. And I was just like, I can't.
You know what? Like the way people hype up these Netflix shows, like, to be fair, what is it? Love is Blind?
Yeah. It was Peacock, by the way. It's not even Netflix.
Oh, I thought it was Netflix.
Love is Blind is on Netflix. Yeah. Love Island USA.
It's on Peacock.
Is on the Peacock. And, and it's apparently a big deal. I don't get it. And honestly, I'm past the point of being able to basically imagine myself hypothetically put myself in that scenario, because these people are so beyond gorgeous and good looking and flawless physically that you're just like, I can't.
I'm just like, how do you even get on these shows?
You got to be super hot, super stupid, and that's it. And then I'll tell you what, I know how they cast these shows. And actually, I'm going to have a meeting with my management afterwards, because it kind of correlates with, we have Meet the Chefs coming up. We have chefs kind of like, signing up to be a part of it. But you if you want something done right, you got to actively recruit. And that's what these like dating show producers do. What they do is they troll Instagram.
Right.
And they look for beautiful people on Instagram, and then they slide in DMs. And that's how they cast these shows.
So, okay, if you were to be on a reality dating show, what would the show be called?
Busted AF. What's it? Single and Fugly is something that I'm pitching Netflix right now, and I don't know if they're gonna do it.
You can have it here at the Ventana Canyon.
Yeah, based off the last time I was on Bumble, and who matched with me like things is just like we call it settling. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be cast anytime soon. In fact, I check my DMs all the time. Like, is today the day?
Hey, we need you.
Love Island washed up. Nope.
What if they were blindfolded and like just your radio voice?
Love isn't even truly blind. Even that Netflix show, they show all good looking people,
Well, yes and no.
Look, yes.
What about the crazy? There's crazy ones. That the last season I saw, just because they hyped it up so much, and there was some guys that were, not to say they weren't bad looking, but they were total red flags.
Right, but they're still good looking enough to be on these stupid shows. I mean, I could try to say, hey, I have a sense of humor and a career and emotionally stable to a certain extent. Nope. They're like, well, what about your face?
Shut up.
Well, maybe it's not the face, it's everything else, but I don't know. I just know that I haven't been cast. I'm looking, and honestly, if there's any,
I'm too scared to ask about your dating life right now, because I'm always.
It's pretty much non-existent. So you'd be happy to hear, and not because you're making moves, but you're just like, you need to settle, like just chill out for a while. And I took that word and honestly, so I'm pretty much non-existent. But you, on the other hand. No, I've been seeing you. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. All right. So let's get on the broadcast with these clips from the Jake Paul Mike Perry fight. First and foremost, do you believe that the Jake Paul fights in general are all basically WWE, like predetermined?
Boxing has changed so much it's just like a mafia of what it is, and bringing those Paul brothers into it is, I think, the whole reason why. I mean, they took boxing out of the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's not what it was, and it's a circus.
And it is a circus. And what they did, I mean, it was a 20-minute introduction to get in. In fact, actually, I'll show you what a circus is, and I can show this clip real quick, and you'll be able to hear it on the podcast broadcast. So what they did was, not only was the Hawk Tuah Girl there, right? And she got paid to be there, by the way, 100%. Did I have this? I thought I shared this clip. They might have taken it away, but I'll describe it. As they were cutting into, Jake Paul warming up. And this is halfway through the event. They show him getting massaged, and his masseuse goes to pull on his arm and pulls his arm off of his body. What? And then Jake Paul's like, "Oh no, my arm!" And then the masseuse throws the arm, and then a cop tackles a dude, and it's it's a skit that's in the middle of this fight. I'll show it to you. I'll find it.
You're lying.
Nope. I'll show it to you on the podcast broadcast stream. There you'll also see the knockout of the year and so much more. You can join us youtube.com/BeefVegan or keep it right here. We got music on the way from Sublime and Godsmack. It's Rock 102.1. Sublime, huh? Because I'm pretty sure I have What I Got as the song of the day for Razor and for the Summer of Fun. And that would be disappointing. Disappointing planning there. That's what happens when you play the same Sublime song over and over again.
We're live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's all right. It wouldn't be the first time I talk shit on that. I gotta pull that. Let's see. Jake Paul arm. I'm surprised you didn't see this go viral. And I know I shared it, but
I haven't really. I was really busy on Saturday. I was just all over the place that I really wasn't looking at my phone. But I knew it was happening.
Yeah, and that's how I watch the fight as well. It's just clips on the phone, right? Because I'm not going to pay for that. I'm just not.
No, I remember the first DAZN fight I actually saw, and I was like, "Who's doing working in TV?" I'm like, "Who's doing the production on this? Who's directing this? This is terrible."
Yeah.
Who put this together?
It's amateur, dude, for sure. So here's
bad.
This is, they say, live Jake Paul's dressing room. He's promoting one of his products, right?
Oh my God.
And this is him warming up. Now look at his arm, dude. So this is actually pretty impressive, but cheesy as fuck. There you go. That was the pre-fight as they checked into Jake Paul's locker room. Are you not mad at that?
Why?
Well, he's selling shit first off, but yes, it is.
So what network was that?
It was pay-per-view.
Yeah, but from where? Who streamed? Was it a streaming? Was it? I mean, that's not.
I don't know. I jacked it from Twitter, so I just saw the clip and whatever. I'm sure there's some people who were watching it, but Manny's not a fan. He said that was dumb, but that's what he does. He does this YouTuber type stuff, and he's trying to be even more campy. Like I said, when his entrance took 20 minutes, and he was dressed as a gladiator. And
they expect us to take boxing serious, and then they do some stuff like that.
Well, it's a spectacle.
It needs its own genre then.
Yeah, I'm not mad at them trying to make it entertaining. Okay, that's one thing, but you can kind of overdo it. And is this overdoing it? Let's see. And he ended up winning the fight. Now keep that in mind. But she is from Tennessee.
Oh,
that's where she got the accent. Close enough though.
Mm-hmm.
And this was her. She looked pretty good, a little classy, looked like fish out of water kind of thing. So here was Hawk Tuah Girl showing up and being bombarded by people. You gotta
look at her.
She's so young.
Yeah.
Right. And she's with her friend who was in the viral video with her. But that it's got to be weird for this girl to be virally famous because of a blowjob technique you described, right? So you're going to have all these creeps.
Right.
Trying.
I think she's riding the wave, though. I think she's, for as much as she can, why not? She's going to fade away in a couple months.
Yeah.
But it's sad.
She did get signed to a talent agency. And they are pitching several things for Little Miss Haley here, including a reality TV show.
No.
Yeah, so she might try to milk this 15 minutes into 30 minutes. But it does look like it's going to be a while before we see an OnlyFans page. Yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't done it already.
Well, because right now you don't need to. If you're
Yeah.
getting paid 6 figures, or she probably got paid. I think her going rate right now is $50,000 for an appearance. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's been going and showing up at like different clubs and
Yeah.
everything as the Hawk Tuah Girl, making that appearance money. And so she got paid bigly to show up at the Jake Paul event.
Mhm.
And so
Front row for sure.
front row
for sure.
next to Jake Paul's buddy who was spitting game to her the entire time.
I froze. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're right. But yeah, he was trying to get with it. In fact, actually, I thought the dude was her boyfriend, the one that she was describing the Hawk Tuah technique to.
No, it was just like your little sneaky link.
No, not
Right?
even. It was just
No?
Jake Paul's buddy, the guy with the mustache,
Oh.
who was literally trying.
Oh, I
to
thought you meant
get
like
with
in
her.
the video, like in the original video.
No, yeah, in the original video, see, she's she's just with her homie. That's her little buddy.
Yeah, I do remember seeing.
So let's see. Anthony said, remember back in the day, people became celebrities for actually being talented. That was a long
Right.
time ago, Anthony. That was a long time ago. Then ushered in the Paris Hilton / Kim Kardashian era. And
Mhm.
now we're 20 years in to being famous for just being famous.
Yeah.
We should be used to it by now.
Mhm.
Yes. And now we've evolved to the point where it's not just doing nothing. Now you could be super famous just by describing a pretty basic blowjob technique. But if you do it with an adorable accent, that's money.
I mean, she said you gotta spit on that thing.
You gotta spit on that thing. Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing. I don't think anyone over the age of 30 is like, that's it.
This
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, that might
Oh.
work. Yeah.
Huh.
Like I didn't see that in all types of porns growing up. So
You know what? Let her have her moment.
hey, I'm
sure.
not hating on her.
Hey man,
Anthony
if I
is.
can get viral and pay off my my loans for saying something stupid, why not?
What if this generation loves eating ass? So what if this young generation, right? They're super fan of it. What if you became viral where you'd be like, you gotta toss that salad, man, right? Do you really want to be that person?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So
I'm okay. I'm okay.
you gotta Olive Garden that shit. You know what I'm saying? You want
Get the
you want some
tongs.
Parmesan on it? Ah, rah, 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 rah.
Shut up before we go.
We just went viral. You gotta put some croutons in it. Ah.
Ugh. I can't. I can't.
There
You
we
know
go.
what?
We just became millionaires, yes. There you go. Yes.
I can't.
Yeah, see.
Why else was I? Why am I here?
Because we're going to talk Sugar Skulls. But before we do, okay, there was the post-fight. I do like the post-fight drama. Now, here's, did you see that Conor McGregor allegedly fired Mike Perry after the fight?
No.
That insult to injury. So the bare knuckle fighting championship, something that Rico and I have been on, have been fans of here for a little over a year, seeing them on Instagram, watching all that. It's been fantastic, brutal sport. Mike Perry has been kind of like the face of this sport. He is a champion there, and he's gone undefeated, knocking people out. And he looks like a badass. He looks like a dude who literally has been scrapping his entire life. So this fight was somewhat of intrigue. Keep in mind, this was to replace Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, because Mike Tyson had a medical emergency and could not make that big fight. So they made the most of it. Mike Perry stepped in, used to spar with Jake Paul. Now, problem is, on the tail of the tape, they're only a couple pounds apart, but that's a lie. That's totally WWE. Jake Paul, allegedly, juiced to the gills. And if you look at them side by side, not only is he a couple inches taller, he looks about 40 pounds heavier. So, experts are saying this is the tale of a heavyweight versus a welterweight.
Right.
And don't be surprised the welterweight gets knocked out, right? But Mike Perry, he went 6 rounds. He did his best. He just,
It's a different style.
Yeah, it is
It's
completely
a different style.
And so he was at the disadvantage from the get-go.
Right.
Now, in the 6th round, he was knocked out, TKO. And Conor McGregor then goes to Twitter, starts running his mouth, and literally tells Mike Perry, because Conor McGregor is now a co-owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, that he's fired. And in a very brutal way. Here was Jake Paul reacting to that news and talking shit about.
As soon as your fight ended, Conor McGregor said Mike Perry was fired from the BKFC.
Oh my! Did he really?
Yeah. And he took shots at you. He called you some derogative term. Any message for Conor McGregor?
Hey, that's fucked up that you fired your BKFC champion. But
Face of BKFC.
I told you that was going to happen. You know, I told you exactly what was going to happen. He was big upping his boy Mike Perry. I said, okay, Conor, like after I fuck up Mike Perry, then you're next. So Conor's on Twitter all the time. He's on his yacht all the time. But guess where he's not? In the ring fighting me. So he can talk all the fuck he wants. But the notorious MMA is scared of Jake Joseph Paul from Disney Channel, and I put that on my mama.
I know he's the kind of guy you love to hate. You hate this guy, don't you?
No, I just hate him. I don't.
Right, but that's the part that they're cashing in on because you need the heel, and that's why it's so. That's why people are watching. That's why I
see he's doing crazy, right? Because Ryan Garcia is not.
No, I know. Ryan Garcia is so unfortunate. In fact, actually, before the fight, Ryan Garcia tweeted out, I just got word, Jake Paul's going to lose this. It's all in the script, whatever. Obviously, Jake Paul didn't lose. Ryan Garcia has been banned from all different types of professional boxing, not only for testing positive for steroids, but drugs and his mental illness. If you take Ryan Garcia anywhere, just it's sad. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're just talking about our hatred for Jake Paul and our empathy and feeling sorry for Ryan Garcia just because he's a lost cause. 100%.
It drives me crazy that when he did his last fight, they put Oscar De La Hoya in there. And I got a lot of respect for De La Hoya just because he is, like our generation's,
Ryan
golden
Garcia.
boy,
Yes.
like he's our golden boy. And he was like, I don't see anything wrong with what he's doing. When he hangs out with me, he's a normal person.
Nope,
he's a great guy. And then what does he do at the weigh-in? Comes in chugging a beer, misses weight, and then he tests positive twice.
Yeah, test positive for steroids. I think cocaine too. He tests positive for almost everything.
And it's the allegations are just for him to be like, no, it's fake. It's not true. Why didn't you say something sooner? And blah, 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 blah. Sir, the fight's been sold. They're not going to cancel a fight just because you're being anyways. But it's ruining boxing for what it was.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia was kind of the last hope of traditional mainstream boxing being successful because he was a good looking kid. Unfortunately, yes, his demons took him over, and the dude is, the more you pay attention to him, the more you realize he needs help. Mm-hmm. He's mentally disturbed, and it's not even an act. And you would think at first it was kind of portrayed like it was an act. Oh no, he's just selling fights. And then the more you listen to this guy, the more you're like, oh. I mean, even trying to get to know him in person, he was at a celebrity poker tournament. Mm-hmm. And who was it? Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was in this tournament, right? Who plays for the Miami Heat. So this was in Florida. Jimmy Butler wanted to knock him out. Jimmy Butler couldn't stand him. And you could see the look of disdain on his face. First, Ryan Garcia puts his foot in his mouth, being asking him who he plays for. Uh-huh. He's like, oh man, I'm a big fan. What team are you on right now? I'm on the Heat. We're in Miami. Big fan, right?
Yeah.
And then he continued to just be erratic and be annoying and be the guy that nobody can stand. And Jimmy Butler was about to just I don't care who you are, you're done, So he was about to scrap him up. So yeah, it's sad that when you think about professional boxing now, Jake Paul is at the top of that list. Mm-hmm. And, Mike Tyson did respond actually, to Jake Paul, because after the fight, Jake Paul called out two people. He called out Mike Tyson, of course. That fight was supposed to be the one that happened.
A legendary boxer from our youth.
Yes, but 60 years old. Right. And then he also called out UFC's Alex Pierre. How do I
again, stay in your lane, stay in your category, stay where you fight. It's just, it doesn't.
He knows that fight's not going to happen. Here's Jake Paul after the fight talking to Ariel Helwani, calling out both fighters. Check this out. Yeah. And so Dana White
can't.
responded to that, and he's like, good effing luck. And, he's obviously not going to let Alex fight him anyways,
No.
but, doesn't think Jake Paul stands a chance. Obviously, there are a lot of things in common of Jake Paul's career, right?
Mhm.
Of all of his victories, especially. All of his victories happen to be miss weight or mismatched weight. The age difference. He's usually fighting older fighters, right? And the one fight that he did lose, because he did lose a professional fight, just happened to be someone his age and his weight. And that was, of course, Tyson's younger brother. What's his name? Not even paying attention, but
No, I am paying attention.
No, I know you're paying, but to Jake Paul's fighting career,
No,
right?
I'm not at all.
Yeah.
He wants to be able to run his mouth and be like, listen, I fought so and so and so and so and so and so, all these prestigious, like,
he's genuinely annoying, and he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the business of people buying pay-per-views to watch him get knocked out, right? And I personally just keep an eye on Twitter because I want to watch him get knocked out, but I want to watch him get knocked out for free.
Yeah. I'll just watch the clips over and over and over.
That's right. Thank you, internet. We're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. There, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole of the Sugar Skull social media game, because that's 100% Yaz money. So we're gonna see what kind of social media content she put together for our Tucson Sugar Skulls over this past season. We'll be back with more after Lincoln Park. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, just doing social media for these teams. You have to read the comments, and you have to read what these people have to say. And respectfully, I'm just like, you're passionate, but it's like, whoa, slow your roll.
Right. So is it people like trolling
like
and being
like season ticket holders and things like that, like,
right,
giving their input in certain places? And so I'm just like, there's just so much that goes into a team, and especially when it's making a shift, it's got new employees, new coach, new players coming in. Sugar Skulls are fairly new.
Yeah.
And so it's no secret that the head coach of the Rattlers up in Arizona, that his wife is the owner of the Sugar Skulls. So it's a family thing, between both teams. And so, it's no secret either, because you can go into these fan pages and read the comments, and they're dropping their names. And I can't do anything about it on my end, because the only thing I can do is go to the admin of that fan page and be like, hey, can you like knock these down? And it's like things like that. But it's like
they're dead naming them. They're like
they're dropping their names, like the owners, and it's just what do you like? How is that your business?
Right.
And so it's like it's just very discouraging to know that it's like they're just not happy.
Yeah.
And we get it. We had a rough season, and
what was the overall record of the season?
Man, it was like 2 and something.
Okay. Well, I mean, that happens, dude.
It does. And Billy came in. Billy's like a coach who has gone to playoffs and things like that. So his way of working this season was like trading off players. Like, when I tell you there were a total of like 98 players in rotation, like he brought players in and out, and it was insane. I couldn't keep up. There was no way that every week that I would come in to do new content, I'm like, we got to give the same speech.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm Yasmin. We do social media, me and Crystal. And who are you guys?
Yeah. Right.
Even down to like the last 2-3 games, I'm just like, who are these quarterbacks?
Yeah. How many quarterbacks did they have this season? Do you know?
I want to say maybe like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So we had our big quarterback at the beginning for a good half a season, Malik, and he was great individual, great personality, everything. And
what happened to him?
There was just some miscommunication. Okay, wait. So I can't take credit for these videos right here.
Okay.
So this is like, I call them the 7 guys. So it's these 2 guys. They come in and they put these things together.
These
and
reels,
they So they started doing this at the beginning of the season. And obviously we didn't do too well during the season, and then they had other events to go to. But I wanted to make sure, and I think some of the players hit them up too, to come into our last home game, and they were able to, put some good stuff together.
Nice.
But
okay.
these guys are good.
Yeah, so and you do all these real-time posting.
Right.
Did you have comments turned off?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No. But I do have to like turn them off.
You do have
not
to,
turn them off. Delete them like as we come in.
Yeah.
So I mean, on top of like getting everything ready for the game in the arena, like I will tell the coach or the players, hey, I'm gonna be set up on the stairs at 2:00. If you want to get dressed up and get your pictures taken, be punctual because it's 110 outside.
Yes.
I
saw this. I saw your post about it, behind the scenes, like standing there by the stairs. Of course, the sun beating down on you. You got the asphalt all around. And
so I enjoy doing these. I enjoy miking up the players as well, because they like that. They like the interactions.
Mhm.
We had a lot of giveaways throughout the season, and so there was a lot of advertising for those.
Did you put together this one?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Let's hear it.
I know. Jingle bell, Frosty the Snowman. I'm tripping. Was it?
You gotta sing Christmas music.
Huh? Sing Christmas music.
He was so confused. Make sure I was so confused.
Nah. Yeah, Christmas songs. I don't even know any. I never heard that one. All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the rain, snow is glistening, and I already messed it up. Why y'all want to sing any Christmas songs? We got all these songs.
He's like, why are you singing all these songs?
Christmas in July. That's a good promotion. I actually had an idea.
Listen,
yeah,
it was good and bad. Let me tell you something about these themes.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna put her on blast, but when you are putting in the work to do themes, okay,
right,
you have to think about it overall. Okay, Christmas in July sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
And the season, Christmas in July, we're midway, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to setting up for this game, what are we doing? You got decorations? Where are these decorations gonna go?
Yeah.
Crystal hired a Santa. Crystal, where's the Santa gonna be?
Yeah.
Where are we gonna put the Santa? That was my biggest frustration of them all, is like, you want to go hard on these themes, but really, what are you doing to apply them?
Oh, yeah, it's growing pains figuring this thing out as you go, and
like,
everything else. I mean,
it would make more sense. Like, for example, like after the themes were already picked, I saw that there was like a Margaritaville kind of theme. And that would be great for people to come in Hawaiian shirts or whatever, luau theme or whatever, and then have like margarita specials.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom, bam.
That's the only way that I'm going to bring you in, margaritas.
Yeah. Yeah, you have me 100% on board for that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll go check it out. I didn't get a chance to see the games this season, but I didn't get to. I didn't hear about the Margaritaville promotion. Was there a margarita special?
No.
That's why I didn't
show
show up.
But there will be next season. I promise you that.
Nice.
We got some things to work on.
Well, it is interesting. So, the Sugarskulls and the Diamondbacks are owned by the same organization, same owners, which is cool.
Rattlers.
Rattlers. I'm sorry. Yeah. Not the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's a baseball team. But, the Rattlers and the Sugarskulls. So, it is owned by the same people, and they take care of you, no?
No. The Rattlers have its own owner. It's the head coach of the Rattlers.
Oh,
So
is the owner of the Sugarskulls?
His wife is owner of the Sugarskulls.
Oh, okay. So I met an owner years ago. So they just keep. That's a different owner now. Okay. Well, I mean, it's good that there's some kind of family there. It's a little confusing. You excited about the Roadrunner season as it's coming up? That stuff's always changing.
Yeah. Now we have weekend games.
We had weekend games last year.
No. Like now it's like Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Before it was Friday, Saturday.
Right. Yeah, this schedule is a little bit different, but we got all the ones back from Mullet, and things are continuing to change. And let's go into this season appreciating it like it might be our last, because we don't know if there's going to be a season after that, even though the lease is there. But with the ownership of the Roadrunners, formerly of the Coyotes, it changes on a dime, man. And it seems like there's a lot of emotion, behind the decisions being made. And so they announced one thing that was working in our favor, because there's rumors that the Roadrunners would go to Reno because they're building an arena there. An ECH team, ECHL team is about an hour away. They just announced they're doing another team there. It's about an hour away from Reno, so that's pretty close, maybe too close for the league to approve an AHL team there. What I see happening going into this future or into the season, and this is just speculation, I see him selling this team. And, honestly, I see him maybe potentially selling it to Utah as well, because Utah needs a feeder team. And if the team does move, it'll be Utah that moves it, which would be unfortunate. But, if I was a consultant for the Utah team, I'd say, hey, you already got this market here. You already got the system. Why not keep it in there? And then, there are direct flights. I know it's not as close, but Tucson to Utah, that seems doable, right? No,
it's a no for me, dog. There's no way. No.
All right. I'm just trying to be optimistic here. Yaz. I'm trying to be like, hey, there's a way for our team to stay. But okay.
I don't know. The politics about it are just off the wall right now. Like, it was just so messy.
I know,
so
dude.
Messy.
You know what was crazy? I showed up to the press conferences at the TCC that had the board of Rio Nuevo there, Bob Hoffman there as well. The board of Rio Nuevo was like, hey, man, these guys couldn't have been nicer as far as the Morellos. They were straight up with us, and this is why we decided to give millions of dollars in breaks to make this happen, because we trust them and the relationship and everything else. And then it seemed like almost immediately after there was another announcement where they're like, the Morellos were like, fuck you, Arizona. Like, whoa. We just had the city board say, hey, and these are old timers, cowboys who are ingrained in the system, or said, to ensure that this relationship continues to grow, we're going to do our part as a city and give them all these breaks and make it fiscally rewarding for them to keep hockey here in Tucson.
Yeah.
And it just seemed, it's like, it's drama, man. It's drama. And that's honestly, it's all speculation, because I try not to get too much information from Bob on the inside, information, because I don't want to ever put him in a position to get in trouble because of this mouth right here. Right?
Because of your mouth.
I know. Because of my mouth. I am going to make that clip about eating ass, though. So be on the lookout for that. I'll edit it, censor it, if you will. But I really think we're the next Hawk Tuah.
No.
Yes. I do. I honestly do.
I got too many jobs to be doing that. I'm a mother. I can't.
I know. Well, you sure you don't want to cash in on that?
And then what's going to happen after, Beefy? Who's going to hire me?
Well, I mean,
okay,
there's a few. I don't know if you'd like those options, but they're there. They're out there.
What about, you know what?
What about what? Tell me.
Anyways, I did want to end on a good note. I appreciate our season ticket holders and our Sugar Skull fans and everything throughout the season. It was definitely a crazy experience to begin with, but man, passionate people. Let's do it again next season.
Yeah, it should be good. And hopefully we'll be able to give out some tickets here on the air and get people amped about it. But I do know some streamers like Nick. He was out there, season ticket holder with his son Austin on a lot of those games. And a lot of Roadrunner season ticket holders were out there and they love those games. I think it's exciting stuff. Let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Hanging out here with Yaz Money on this Monday morning as we get things going. And you straight from the news station, too. Yeah. What's been going on in the news? Anything eventful happened in the news over the weekend?
I wonder. Let's see.
I tell you what, one thing for sure happened immediately after it was announced that President Biden was not going to go, run for president for a second term, was the Simpsons Did It meme. Went re-viral. If you recall, do you recall this? So, the Simpsons have long been alleged of being able to predict the future. In a 2000 episode of The Simpsons, where, Lisa Simpson talks about former President Trump and how Donald Trump was president, which, again, was one of those predictions that Simpsons claimed. She was seen talking about how President Trump served one term, and that's in the episode. Don't come at me. But she was wearing purple like, business suit, whatever. What do you call those? Blazer?
It's like a suit. Just like a
Yeah, but women wear it. It's called something else when they wear it.
a blazer.
No, I'll show you the picture. But also like pearl necklace, pearl earrings.
Right.
Anyways, when President Biden, went to his inauguration, Kamala Harris actually dressed in that exact same outfit, right? And it went viral. And of course, now that she is being announced, 2 pieces of Hollywood fiction is going viral. First, that picture again, saying Simpsons predicted it again.
And Veep.
Yeah, and Veep. And Veep.
I love Veep.
The storyline of Veep, though, is literally what we're dealing with right now, right? Is it not? Except with the exception of the age for being the reason that the president is choosing not to go for re-election. Basically, if you don't know Veep, it stars Julia Louis-Dreyfus as the vice president of the United States. And in the episode, she finds out that the president is choosing not to run for re-election.
No, he's dropping out.
He's dropping out.
Yeah,
and then she was then going
she
to
becomes president.
Yes, I know. So that's Hollywood, manifesting this to a certain extent.
God, but that show is so good.
It's a good show.
Was so good.
Oh, absolutely, is a good show. Simpsons, you know what? I don't know if you heard of that show, but that show's a pretty good show too. I feel like it has a good future. It has some legs on it. But yeah, so just be prepared to see that picture of Lisa next to Kamala Harris again and again for the next couple months. That viral meme.
I mean, the dropout definitely took a lot away from the distraction of what happened last Saturday. Like it's like an afterthought.
Yeah,
it's just that's the way I see it now.
Yeah, I know.
He went from being at the RNC, is that what it was? Republican National Convention.
Which one?
Trump.
Yeah.
The last one where he spoke for about 2 hours.
Yeah. That's the RNC.
He was like, I'm never going to talk about this again. I'm just going to talk about it this one time. Goes to a rally. First thing he talks about.
I know.
I'm just like, come on.
That's our politics today. You got to get those talking points and just drive them home, man.
I just want to, if they're going to debate, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be a lot of clapbacks back and forth. And those campaign commercials are going to be nasty.
No, I know. I don't think they're going to debate either. In fact, actually, tomorrow I'm going to do a piece on how to spot misinformation. And so I'll give some of those tips to our streamers, but we have to keep the conversation moving on the podcast. Be back with the beef tip right after these words. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan or keep it right here on Rock 102.1.
Did you see the ad? JD Vance's like,
have you seen
he's like, are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? And then he starts talking about the drugs that are coming into the border and talking about how his mom was an addict and this and that. And the joke was like, oh, I didn't know like JD grew up in the Biden administration, because, and then the note on the bottom, the disclaimer on the tweet was JD's mom would steal drugs from the hospital she was working at. She was stealing from the patients.
Yeah, it was, and you saw that in the movie, The Hillbilly Effigy. Yeah, she stole straight from the patients.
Yeah, but he tried to use that as his calling of like, hey, the drugs on the border, like my mom suffered from that. But it's like, but not from 100%. The drugs from the border.
Yeah,
prescription drugs, homie. Like
your mom wasn't on meth; she was on opiates sold by pharmaceuticals. Period.
And my giveaway to that was like listening to the RNC. Just all of like that's what literally got me through my workouts all week. Like just watching and going through that and like being on the Stepmaster and just being like, are you kidding me right now?
I'll tell you what, and the reason why, this is the big reason why, and it's been ramped up. The number one talking point going into the election is immigration, right? And then the immigrant crime wave. John Oliver from Last Week Tonight just did a piece on this last night.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yes. And it was wildly fascinating because you start seeing them like Fox News ramping up their immigrant talk over the past couple months.
Right. Well, the last couple of years, like the border's always been a problem.
Yes. But like crime in general, and they're talking about this crime is down, down a lot from year over year. in all category, and immigrant crime is even lower than that. So yeah, I mean the argument is and can be made that crime does happen from time to time and person might happen to be an immigrant because it's people,
right?
But statistically speaking, crime has been down. Murders, everything else. A lot of people, what's funny is, I have like my daughter's grandma, or anyone I say I'm from Tucson. Oh, they're like, I could tell who watches Fox News. Ooh, how is it in Tucson? Is those migrants taking over? I'm like, no, not really,
and
bro.
You know what? Someone at the news station who's not from here, and she's like, we live 45 minutes away from the border, and I can tell you, I've never been personally impacted by anything.
Right.
I went to a Raiders game, Raiders and the Jets.
Hey, that's a good place for immigration to go round them up.
You shut your mouth. I went to go see the Raiders and the Jets, and I sat next to a retired NYPD officer. Okay. And he asked me where I was from, this old man. And I was like, oh, I'm from Arizona. I'm from Tucson. And he was like, how far away are you from the border? I go, oh, about 45 minutes. And he goes, tell me, how bad is it? I was like, it's not.
It's not.
And he was like, so then we're having this conversation. I said, I work at a news station. I said, when this whole caravan thing happened and they said like, they're going to open the border and the caravan's coming in and all these people, we sent someone there. And when we sent that person there, he was from like New York. He's from Long Island. And he was like calling us because he was going live that morning. He goes, there's nothing happening.
Yeah,
there's
legitimately nothing happening. It's 100% a scare tactic.
And everyone was like, well, you need to build a story out of it. There's nothing going on. I know.
And so they're feeding off of the, and John Oliver puts it best, but, definitely, it's primal instinct and feeding off like a racism. But if you come down to Tucson, you look around, like what's the big issue? Our big issue is our homelessness and our pricing. And you look at the homeless people on the corners who are dealing with this, or whether it's mental health issues or drug addiction issues, but you look at them, you're assuming, and you're like, they look pretty fucking American to me. When they're talking to me, there's no accents and stuff. This seems like a big American problem. This is something that could be addressed, and they can put blame on that, but they're not. They're the boogeyman is, brown people Mexican. From south of the border, and that's what it is. And it's really 100% being, pushed as the narrative through, the big news corporations as that tactic. And so I try to explain this to my daughter's grandma, like, and you come down to Tucson, you're not seeing it. We're not victims of personal crime against us. Shit happens for sure in every city, but there's not an increase. And then someone just like driving off in a lowrider or like a van full of people.
Like,
yeah. I know, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. It is crazy to see what they're doing.
All right. All right, we are almost out of time for the show, but I'd like to thank everybody for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/beefvegan, because that's the YouTube podcast. There you see the lovely Yaz Money attempt to go viral as the new Hawk Tuah Girl.
No.
It's going to be fantastic. You have to see it. All right, but before we wrap up, let me give you a beef tip. This is good for all parents, including you, Yaz. New research finds that slashing kids' entertainment screen time to just 3 hours a week can improve their behavior and mental health in as little as 2 weeks. The study found of 89 families of 181 kids, they were asked to do this. After 14 days, those kids had behavior and emotional well-being better than before, and even reducing screen time briefly can boost their mental health. So you want your kids not to go completely mental, get them off the iPad.
All right, you hear that, Brooklyn?
Yeah. And if you don't want to go completely mental over the next couple of months, stay off of Facebook, especially if you're over the age of 50, because you guys seem to fall for everything. That's all the time we have for the show. Thank you for listening. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. All right, there you go. Hot takes. We got hot takes all day long. Thank you for coming in, guys. Now let's talk about those posts from Mexico. Who's that dude?
I will knock out all your teeth.